Okay, guys, Lance Martin, Coldwell Banker, Town and Country, our 2021 real estate market forecast never ends. So here we are with our October 21st market snapshot. This is the third time we've been doing this monthly series. So hopefully we're gathering an audience and you're looking forward to this. I've actually talked to a couple people that accidentally apparently stumbled on it, so I think we're on the right track. So here we are with our October snapshot. We're going to kind of cover some basic ground again. We're going to cover inland Southern California only. So if you're looking for anything other than that, you're in the wrong place. We're going to talk a little bit about interest rates. Not much has changed. That'll be a short one. And we're going to give you guys an update on the eviction moratorium, but we're not going to do it in this video. There will be a separate video. Follow the link, and you can find out where we are with the eviction moratorium as of today's October 8th, 2021. So let's jump right in. We're going to start off with the three counties, LA, Riverside, San Bernardino County, and we're going to start off with median price. Charts are similar to what we've looked at before, but you can kind of start to see maybe a trend that was a little harder to see before. We've kind of got our trend line here, and you'll notice a little bit of bars that are sticking above the trend line. Yes, the median price has pulled back ever so slightly the last few months in the three counties combined. We'll talk about what those numbers are in a minute. That was a 12-month chart, excuse me, that was a 24-month chart. This is a 12-month chart. We're going to focus a little bit more on the 12-month, but I kind of like the way the 24-month chart looks, just so you can get a little bit more of a trend on what's happening. But again, same chart, by the way. We just isolated the past 12 months. You have the same little peak in property value and a little bit of a pullback in property value in the three counties that you saw in the previous chart. This is my new graphic. If you hate it, let me know. I'll probably look a little bit different next month. So in the three counties, $620,000 is the median price. That is a 15.9% increase over the last 12 months, all right? By the way, all this data was pulled straight off of those charts. The charts are still CRMLS. That's where I'm getting this data. California Regional Multiple Listing Service. It comes straight out of that. So $620,000 is the median price as of October 1st, let's call it. 12 months ago, it was $535. By the way, that's the difference. That's your 15.9% increase. 2 years ago, 24 months ago, it was $470. So we've seen almost a 32% increase in 2 years, and a 15. And it's almost exactly half, you know. But at any rate, 32 for the 2 month or 2 year rather, and 15.9 for the 12-month for the three counties combined. Okay, so supply and demand chart. I've been spending a lot of time looking at the supply and demand chart. I actually took off one of the graphics that we've had previously. I'm taking off the closed sales. Who cares what you've done in the past? We want to see kind of where we are now. But I kind of like the way these charts are stacking up. So again, 2 years, three counties, supply and demand. The red bar is listings. Yes, listing inventory has gone down. We talked about that previously. And the blue bars, this one here, is the properties under contract. Pretty flat. It's not. It looks flat, but it's really not. We're going to talk about that when I kind of pull them all together. This is your 12-month chart, again, exact same chart, 12 months. Again, listing inventory trending down, and what appears to be flat, but it's really not. It's a 6.2% increase. So here's the data on the sheet. So how many houses do we have for sale in the three counties combined? 26,000 homes, 26,323, all right? That is a 13%. By the way, these are supposed to be red arrows, so this is down. 13.9% fewer homes than we had 12 months ago, and 30% fewer homes than we had 24 months ago. So less homes for sale. The good news is we put 9,950 homes under contract. Buyers and sellers got together. We opened an escrow, all right? Open escrows, almost 10,000. That is a 6.2% increase from 12 months ago, and a 29.5% increase from 2 years ago. So yes, everyone's complaining about inventory. There's less inventory for sale. But the bottom line is, partially the reason there's less inventory, we have more buyers. We just have more buyers. We have 6.2% more properties under contract this month than a year ago in September, and 30% more than we had in escrow 2 years ago in September. So yes, less standing inventory, and again, these are supposed to be red arrows. I maybe might want to work on that graphic a little bit next time. But the bottom line, we're selling more houses on less standing inventory. So those are the three counties combined. Let's look at LA County all by itself. LA County by itself. Here's the chart. Here's Here's the 12-month chart. And, oh, by the way, you still see that same little trend. We've got this little bit of a peak here and a little bit of leveling of prices since we've, looks like for probably the last 2 months now. Don't panic, it is kind of what it is. So what's going on in LA County? The median is 765. That's a 13.2% increase year over year, last 12 months. Where were we last year? At 676,000 12 months ago. And 24 months ago, we were at 589, which is a 30% increase from this number to this number. So crazy stuff. LA County, 30% in the last 24 months, 13.2% in the last 12 months. Ridiculously positive numbers. The supply and demand for LA County, similar charts. Inventory is going down. But again, this looks like it's a flat line, this blue one. That line is actually a 25% increase from this point to that point. Those are the buyer sides. The 2-year chart looks a little similar. Inventory down, but again, that looks kind of flat. This line actually is more flat. That's only 4.4%. So where are the numbers? In LA County, 14,686 houses were listed last month. That is 22% fewer homes than a year ago and 29% fewer homes than 2 years ago. So yes, less inventory. But we put 4,941 homes under contract, buyers and sellers coming together in LA County. That represents a 4% increase, 4.4% increase year over year in LA County. So yes, same thing we just talked about with the 3 counties combined. LA County, fewer houses, but 4% more buyers going under contract last month than a year ago, and 25% more than went under contract 2 years ago. So again, still kind of hard to find a bad spot in there. Riverside County, similar charts. We'll get to the money shot here in a minute. So here's the 24-month chart. Here is the 12-month chart there. But again, notice in Riverside, same exact little trend. You've got this peak in property values. I'm going to use the word peak. As soon as I said it, I cringed a little bit because I don't, oh my God, Lance said there's a peak. It's not unusual to see these little pullbacks this time of the year. We'll keep an eye on it, of course. So what do these numbers look like? Median in Riverside County, 530, 20.2% increase in the last 12 months. The median 12 months ago was, that number, by the way, is 441. So if you do the math, this is 20% bigger than this number. And then 2 years ago, it was 390. This number is 35% number, or larger rather, than 2 years ago. So again, pretty outstanding numbers as far as the appreciation is concerned. Supply and demand for Riverside County, these charts tend to start to look the same, so I'm going a little faster than I had in prior months. So again, big steep drop in listings. What looks like a relatively flat blue bar, but that's a 30% increase in sales in 2 years. Pretty good stuff. And again, the more isolated 12-month view. So what do these mean? In Riverside County, 6,000 houses, a little more than 6,000 houses for sale. That is 4% less. Again, these are supposed to be down arrows. 4% less than what we had a year ago. 32.6% less than what we had 2 years ago. So yes, fewer listings, surprise, surprise. But again, it's hard to say we've got an inventory problem because we sold 5% more than we did a year ago, and we sold 30% more houses, buyers and sellers coming together, opening an escrow, than we did 2 years ago. So yes, we continue to complain that the inventory is down, but we're selling more houses. So if you're a buyer, it's frustrating, I understand, but we are selling more houses on less inventory, so the story continues. Median price, San Bernardino County. So here we go. Again, very similar. Here we are. We've got that little peak in values, so we start to see this trend line maybe starting to pull back, and I'm going to go out on a limb here. We're going to see it pull back for the next few months, okay? Pullback to me is just some ever slight month-over-month pullback in values, nothing dramatic. But at any rate, nevertheless, there's your 24-month chart. There is your 12-month chart, and what does it mean? So San Bernardino County, median price, $477. In the county, that's 13.6% higher than it was a year ago. A year ago, by the way, it was $420. 2 years ago, it was $370, and the 25.9% is the 2-year chart. So this number is 25% higher than this number. So again, still just an extraordinary price appreciation in the San Bernardino County. Supply and demand for San Bernardino, similar charts. Looks like a little steeper drop, and again, looks like a little higher rise in pendings. It is. So there's your 12-month. Here's your, that was your 24-month. Here's your 12-month trend. What do these charts say? Well, this is what they say. 5,584 houses for sale in the county of San Bernardino. That's 3% actually more. This is where I think my graphic might not come across. This bluish up arrow, if you can actually see, these are up arrows. The other counties were down, lesser inventory. We actually have more properties for sale in San Bernardino County than we did in the prior year. I think this one's wrong. Let me go back. Did I make a mistake? Boom, 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 boom. I did. Okay, so this one is up. This is actually down, 11% fewer. So like I said, I'll work on the graphic next time. But the percentages are correct. Obviously, you want to know up, down. Makes a big difference, obviously. So where are we in the homes sold? 346 properties went under contract in San Bernardino County. That's a 6.2% increase year over year, and a 38% increase over the last 24 months. So again, same story. Here we go. So our pick of the month, if you will, I decided to pull Rancho Cucamunga out. Very nice city, Inland Empire. And so what do we got? So here's our price chart. Anything looks similar? It sure does. Again, Rancho Cucamunga, last couple months, softened up in values just a little bit. Our 24-month chart, our 12-month chart, there it is. What do these numbers mean if you live in Rancho or if you're interested in Rancho? $647,500, okay? That is an 11.9% increase year over year. A year ago, by the way, that was 578. You might say, wait a minute, how come this one actually has 786? When the program I use, when the data sample gets smaller, the numbers tend to be a little bit more refined. When they're big, huge samples, 30, 40,000 listings, they tend to round them. But at any rate, a year ago, 578, 786. 2 years ago, just under 500,000. So 30% increase from 2 years ago, almost 12% increase from a year ago. So Rancho is doing just fine. Supply and demand side on Rancho, again, similar looking charts, big steep drop in listings, but again, smaller sample. The blue line is pendings, it's actually up 17%. So what are the numbers? Let's take a peek at them. Oops, and there we go. So now again, it gets a little crazier when you get to small cities. Only 338 properties listed on the market for the entire month in Rancho Cucamunga. Only 151 of those actually went under contract. So when you think of a city like Rancho, it's not a small city. You sit back and say, well, gosh, it doesn't sound like very many homes. Well, when you start getting into these little cities or these little big cities, and you start looking at what look like some fairly small numbers, that is basically what's happening. So we've got but this is a 22% decrease in listings from a year ago, 22% fewer listings in Rancho Cucamunga than a year ago, and a 40% decrease in listings from 2 years ago. If you live in Rancho or if you sell real estate in Rancho, this feels right, okay? Where are we with pendings? The pendings actually are down. Everything else I showed you in pendings was up. Rancho actually has 4.4% fewer open escrows year over year. It's one of the very first cities that I started to see this happening. Keep an eye on that, okay? I only pulled up Rancho. The other ones is the entire counties all pulled together. But 4.4% fewer open escrows in September of 2021 than we had in September of 2020. However, if you want to compare 2 years ago, it's up 17%. So Rancho's kind of feeling it a little bit right now from a standpoint of that supply and demand. Again, it kind of makes sense in some ways. Supply is down, therefore open escrows should be down. That has not been the case in any of these other charts except for Rancho. So we'll keep an eye on that. If you last month we did a little highlight on Long Beach. I'm kind of a Long Beach guy. For those of you that don't know, I was born and raised in Long Beach. So here's Rancho. If anybody says, hey, Lance, preview my city, shoot me a text, email me, drop some sort of message to me, and we'll go ahead and we'll preview your city in the following month. So I still have the core logic chart up here. I imagine in a month or so from now, I'll pull it out, and then maybe we'll bring it back in 5 or 6 months. But to remind everybody, in case you haven't seen the prior couple months' videos, CoreLogic is projecting a 3.2% increase in property values nationwide next year. That's down for some ridiculous high numbers, 15, 16%. And again, our numbers, as you guys have seen, have been in the 20s and 30s. So we'll see what that means. What are interest rates doing? They're still ridiculously good. This is from our meeting 3 months ago on August. We were based, let's just look at this one, 2.8% is the Freddie Mac rates. They're pulled straight off of Freddie Mac's website. A month ago, our last market snapshot we did, they were up a little bit, 2.88%. And here we are, this was pulled yesterday. Today's October 8th, yesterday, October 7th. October 7th. We're basically at 2.93% interest rates, still ridiculously high rates. If you watch the market, there's a lot of talk about interest rates, a lot. So we'll keep an eye, and most of that talk is rates are going to be rising. So we'll see. Have they risen? Yes, they've risen materially, nothing since the last few months, but they've risen nevertheless. So here's your rates to take a peek at. Okay, what else have we got going on? We got our eviction moratorium update. If you want to see that, you're going to need to tune into the other video, follow the link, and you'll find it. We're going to do like a 7-8 minute update on what's going on with the eviction moratoriums. So that concludes, I think, yes, that concludes our October 2021 Real Estate Market Snapshot. We will see you next month.